She said, Little Bit's my favorite because I get to ride horses. It's such a unique place, and it's such an incredible place. It's almost hard to describe. The experience of walking in, seeing a horse that is there and ready for you to ride, knowing myself as a parent, knowing how much has gone into choosing that horse and training that horse, seeing a whole group of adults there, working with my child to help her achieve her goals and keep her safe. All of that is just, it's really remarkable. About a month after her first seizure, she was diagnosed with a disease called Rasmussen's encephalitis, which is a disease that attacks one hemisphere of the brain, and it causes progressive physical decline, cognitive decline, and really the only treatment is what's known as hemispherectomy, which is brain surgery that disconnects the affected hemisphere of the brain. So she had her hemispherectomy in June 2019, and that left her with a lot of deficits. She was 3 years old when she was diagnosed. She was 4 years old when she had her surgery, and 4 years old when she started at Little Bit. And today she just turned 6. We knew that Christina needed a lot of intensive therapy to regain the function that she'd lost during surgery. But at the same time, she was 4 years old, and there's only so many demands you can put on a 4-year-old.
With hippotherapy, you're utilizing equine movement, and with equine movement, it's particularly different and unique because you're utilizing about 50 strides a minute of sensory information and physical input that's being translated from the horse's pelvis up through the client's pelvis. So when I first met Christina, we were primarily having her find her midline on the horse, which is really important just for her balance and completing any kind of task that is right in front of her. She also had some difficulty with her endurance in using her left hand to manipulate more objects because she was right hand dominant before her surgery.
That's really what we were looking for, was that combination of having all that therapy expertise, but also doing it in a way that would appeal to a preschooler. When we mentioned it to her other therapists, they were all like, yes, Little Bit, they're incredible. They just really do amazing things. If you can get Christina there, it's just the best thing for her.
So we've seen an improvement with her endurance, her balance, manipulating objects with her left hand, and actively using her right hand for more functional tasks. Throwing those beanbags earlier, she's having to rotate, so actively using her right side of her body to turn and throw things using her left hand.
Gosh, she's come such a long way since she started here in every dimension. I can't even go into it all. Specifically, at Little Bit, she works a lot with what we call her righty arm and her righty hand, which is the arm and the hand that were affected by surgery. She wears a belt while she's riding the horse, and she's learned how to fasten her belt and unfasten her belt independently. When she first started working on that, and it was hard and she didn't want to do it, and now at the end of every session, she just pops that belt right off like it's nothing. And that sounds like such a little thing, but it's a step towards her being more independent, her knowing that she can do hard things, that she can learn how to work through things that are challenging. She's been working with Taryn since the first day she started here, so it's been great to have that consistent relationship. Taryn really knows her ins and her outs and what challenges her and what she's going to try to avoid doing but needs a little nudge to really start working on things. So that's been great.
So Zorro is a very special horse, and he's kind of a popular horse here at Little Bit, not only because of his movement, but because of his very dear and sweet personality. Having the energy of Zorro and some of these really reliable horses really helps with their confidence. And it also, because of their funny personalities, helps me kind of teach about emotions and empathy from a social standpoint, which is also really helpful for Christina and her goals.
She knows Zorro. She knows that's my horse, and she really enjoys that. She's gotten to know the other horses here too, and because of some of her challenges, names are very hard for her, but she remembers the names of the horses. I really think it's made a tremendous difference in her life. And just being able to have this experience, we're just so lucky, and we don't take that for granted. Who would have thought that a few months post brain surgery, you could have a 4-year-old riding a horse? But we did it. And she's continued to be able to engage in that. And I think that that sends an important message to her of, you can do anything. If you want to do it, we will make it happen. Little Bit is a village. It's a huge village. I'm always aware of how many people are here just making this experience possible for my kid. And I'm really thankful to everybody who's part of that.